and Mark here with another San Carlos live video, but today we're at the Museum of San Carlos History.
Yeah, and we're fortunate enough to have Gail Collins. She is the president of the board, and she's going to show us around. So let's knock on the door and go on in. Here we are. Gail, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Thank you for coming.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
hosting
us. So how long have you been the president of the Museum of San Carlos History?
I think this is the beginning of my third year.
Could you tell us a little bit about the museum?
So we've been here since 1983. That's when the building was rebuilt, and it was given to the city, and the city turned it into a museum. And then a group of people called the villagers were designated to be docents. And it used to be open only a couple of times a month, and in the last couple of years, we changed it, so we're open every Saturday now, from 1 to 4.
This building not only is the museum, but this building itself has a very long history, correct?
It does. Well, the original building, yes, was built as the original firehouse. And this was all volunteer at the time. And we have videos and pictures of the firefighters that used to come here, but they would hear a bell. There would be bells be rung, and then they would all come. And depending on how the bells were rung, they knew if the fire was on the east side or the west side or whatever. So that's how they knew where they had to go.
So I can't help but notice this wonderful fire engine behind you. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, this is our Seagrave. It's from 1927. It wasn't our very first fire engine, but it was very close to it. It was restored many years ago by the firefighters in San Carlos to its current condition. Most of the time it runs. We had it in the parade for Hometown Days in May, conked out a little bit in the parade, but I believe it's working again. It's very hard to get parts for a machine this old, so it's difficult to get repaired if something happens to it. And it's been our mainstay of our museum. As you saw, it was on the mural on the front, which we just recently had painted about 4 years ago.
I kind of know how it feels, getting parts for something this old. It's
Yes,
tough.
it's true.
So also behind us, we have this mannequin here. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So this mannequin represents Rex Walheim, who was a San Carlos High School graduate. He also was a member of 2 shuttle experiences that went up into space. And we had this flag right up here, this green flag that says San Carlos, the city of good living, made for him so that he could bring the flag up into space. And then when he came back, he donated it to the museum.
That is pretty cool. Now, we've walked around the museum a little bit, and of course noticed you have a lot of different pieces here. Kind of like, what's the oldest thing you have around here?
The oldest thing, that would be difficult
Besides
to
me.
say. I think there are things here that are older than you. A lot of
That's not
a
hard.
lot of the things from the Spanish-Mexican era. We have many things that are from the late 1800s. I can't really say what the oldest thing is.
So if somebody's out there right now, they're watching this and they may have some piece of history of San Carlos or some artifact and they would like to donate it, what should they do?
So on our website, we have a way to get a hold of the museum, and you can send an email. It actually comes to me, and I would answer it if you told me what you had and whether or not it would be something you'd like to donate, and we can ask you about it. And then we can make arrangements to either have you drop it off at one of our houses or meet you here at the museum.
Is there anything specific you guys are actually looking for?
You know, I would love to have a really good picture of Nathaniel Britton, if anyone's out there with a picture of him.
There you go. Somebody's got it.
I hope so. He's one of the main founders of the town, hence Britton Avenue. And his father actually had a farm here as well. But he's the one who tried to start the Bohemian Club here in San Carlos.
wow.
And so he's very famous for that. There's a beautiful picture of him in the San Francisco Call when he died back in 1912. I'd love to get a copy of that, but I don't know how. So anybody that knows how to do that, contact me.
Okay.
And then how much does it cost if somebody wanted to come?
It's free. However, donations are always welcome.
Oh, that's wonderful. Run by volunteers.
Yes, yes.
And I assume, of course, this just must be a great amenity to have in this community for young kids, and schools must visit you all the time?
Well, not all the time. We were just getting started in having school tours. The 3rd grade curriculum has to do with community, and 4th grade is California history. So we primarily aim our tours to those 2 age groups. Then COVID hit, and so then it was difficult to get kids in, but we're just starting to do those again. We've also done tours for senior citizen facilities and for adults with learning issues.
Oh, wonderful.
So thank you so much, Gail, for having us today.
Really
Welcome.
And I
You're
hope
welcome.
people out there watching will come on down and take a look.
I hope so too.
So if you'd like to see the Museum of San Carlos history, stop by on Saturdays between 1 and 4. They've got some terrific artifacts and information about the founding fathers of San Carlos. But you won't be able to sit on this wonderful fire engine.